Oath of Druids. All right, so this is Oath of Druids. So the idea here is that the deck is named after the card Oath of Druids, which is a 2-mana green enchantment that says, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses target player who controls more creatures than they do and is their opponent. The first player may reveal cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. If the first player does, that player puts that card onto the battlefield, and all their cards revealed this way into their graveyard. So the deck plays no creatures except for top-end bombs. It doesn't matter so much what the bomb is. In this particular version, it's Atraxa, but it doesn't specifically have to be Atraxa. But just the idea is if your opponent plays any creature whatsoever, then you have Oath of Druids online. On your upkeep, it triggers, and you get to put an Atraxa into play. Now, of course, how do you guarantee that your opponent has a creature? I mean, like, what if they just don't have one? Or what if they know what you're up to, especially post-board, and they just don't play creatures? Well, you've got Forbidden Orchard, which is a rainbow land that produces a 1/1 spirit token for your opponent when you tap it for mana. So you will at least have this as a way of giving them a creature, and then you can get your Oath of Druids online. Of course, there is potentially weird situations where your opponent may be able to trigger Oath of Druids if, for example, you trigger it putting Atraxa into play, and then they don't have any creatures, like maybe they use removal spells to kill their own creatures, and then they can Oath of Druids. But considering that their deck probably isn't built to take advantage of this, it's usually not that big of a deal. Then, of course, there's all the typical vintage stuff, so all the free stuff, recall, etc. This deck also runs the Tinker package, so you can tinker out Bolas's Citadel and potentially win that way. We've also got some Okos and Show and Tell as an alternative way to get Atraxa or Bolas's Citadel into play as opposed to Oath of Druids. Then in the sideboard, we've got Null Rod, Thoughtseize, Tabernacle, another Force of Negation, Dismembers, the 4th Oko, Force of Vigor, Mindbreak Trap, and then as alternative Tinker targets instead of Citadel, depending on the matchup, there is Sphinx of the Steel Wind and Portal to Phyrexia. And then Sarah's Emissary as an alternative Oath target, again, depending on the matchup. So let's jump into the Vintage League. All right, we're on the play for round 1. So let's see, we've got turn 1 Show and Tell into Bolas's Citadel. So that seems pretty good. All right, well, let's go for it. Fetch. Grabbing, I guess it doesn't matter because we've got Forbidden Orchard in our hand, so let's grab Underground Sea, Mana Crypt, tap, tap, cast Show and Tell. That resolved immediately. What's our opponent going to put in? Solitude. Okay, so they're probably the initiative deck. All right, so then their trigger resolves hitting nothing. Cast Ruby for free, and then we're bricked. So back to them. I could have also played Orchard first instead of the Delta, since I could maybe use the Delta to fix the top card of the deck, but it's fine. All right, we take some damage from Solitude. Plays Emerald, plays Wasteland. All right, Mana Crypt triggers. We lost the flip. Draw. Force of Will on top. Ugh. All right. Pass to them. Considering we're taking 3 here and maybe another 3 from Mana Crypt, I really don't want to have to pay 5 for this. Although there's not a lot that I think I would have to counter from them. Caracas into Anointed. I mean, they're just going to name Force of Negation, right? Like, it's fine. That can resolve. I guess they'll name Force of Negation probably. I don't know. We can not really even cast this. This is one thing about Tinker and Tinker, Show and Tell into Citadel, which is that like a lot of times the deck is just not built to be able to chain off super fast, and you brick on like counter spells and other things. I do feel like there's got to be a better option. They named Oko. All right, that's fine. So then Mana Crypt, we won the flip, draw. All right, Pearl. There's Oko, which, yep. Well, we're going to cast it. Like, man, I can't just not cast it. We're going to lose the game if I don't. All right, play Oko. There's Oath of Druids, but it's going to take too long to get to it. I don't know what I could even hit right now that where I wouldn't lose the game. Oath, play a land. Well, we're dead. I guess I can still activate Oko, right? So I'll turn Mox Pearl into a creature. If I hadn't tapped Mana Crypt, I'd be able to block with it. All right, so turn this into a creature and then back to them. Yep, so we block here and we have to hope that the Mana Crypt doesn't kill us. Chrome Mox, sure. All right, Oath of Druids. So Atraxa, I don't think I can hit anything here that matters, but let's resolve this ability anyway. Like, yeah, I don't have any way of gaining life at instant speed, so if the Mana Crypt kills us, then we lose the game. So it's up to literally a coin flip. All right, so the Oath of Druids is the only enchantment, so take that. Instant, I'll take Brainstorm. Land will be Besage You. Gix Probe is the only sorcery I can pick. All right, does the Crypt kill us? It does not kill us. Whew. All right, Oko. So they can Caracas Atraxa back to our hand. So we have to make sure Mana Crypt isn't functioning anymore. So turn Mana Crypt into an elk. And then I want to get this Oko into my hand so that I can cast it and make a food, although I don't think I have the mana to do all of that, right? So Brainstorm, I'll barely have it. I'll have just enough to make a food and crack it. So we're gonna put land Lotus Petal back on top so we can cast both of them for free. All right, so cast the Lotus Petal for free. Play this. All right, and now we have this new Oko. So new Oko. All right, they have conceded to that. So Sarah's Emissary seems pretty good in this matchup, although they do have Swords to Plowshares, so just naming creature isn't like a guaranteed kill, but it is pretty good. Like, they have to have the swords in their hand. A lot of these Tinker targets also seem pretty good, like Portal. So, okay, I probably don't want Force and Negation. I probably don't want Fluster or Spell Pierce. Mental Misstep, they don't actually have a lot of ones other than swords, so it's not great. Show and Tell is also kind of risky against them because they can just put in like initiative creatures or solitude. So this plan is actually not that great. I'll see how many cards I need to cut depending on what I'm bringing in. So Force of Vigor is fine, but I don't need it. So there's Sarah's Emissary. Like the fact that they also have Caracas in their deck makes this not so great, although it's usually just a one of. Dismember is like fine. I wonder if it isn't better to just get rid of the entire Show and Tell package and all the Atraxas and switch them to these threats like Portal, Emissary, and another Oko, and Dismember, and then just get rid of all the Show and Tells, or like trim some of this stuff. Probably want Tabernacle for this matchup, although that directly competes with Oath of Druids. Yep, I'm just not experienced enough with this deck to know what to do here. I'm gonna try this and see what happens. How's Vintage going so far? Do you have any winning records? The best I've done is 3-2, but this is only the 4th deck we've played. Okay, we've got turn 1 Oath with the Forbidden Orchard, so that seems pretty decent. We also have Demonic Tutor, so keep this. Mox Pearl, Ancient Tomb, Archon of Emeria. Well, that shuts off our ability to do stuff, so I guess I play Orchard and Pearl and then just pass. Actually, I didn't even need... No, I needed to play Orchard because I needed green mana. All right, Archon hits us. We're at 18. Wasteland? Bleh. Another Archon. Well, this is going poorly. So next turn, I'm what? I'm Demonic Tutoring for a green source. Yep, double Archon hits. We're at 14. Another Wasteland. I literally can't play anything. All right, go. Loran. Well, I guess I'm forcing that. All right, no green land in our deck comes in untapped, so yeah, all right, we're dead. I mean, like, I don't know. Let's run it back. Well, there's a lot of good things in this hand. Unfortunately, we can't play any of them, so mull. Okay, we've got Lotus. I can play a turn 1 Oko. All right, let's keep and let's put back Sarah's Emissary. All right, Lotus, Island, sack this for green, cast Oko, make a food, over to them. And then we've got the Tabernacle as a follow-up to tax all their creatures. They just played a Plains and passed. All right, Emerald, Tabernacle. I'm just gonna keep making foods, over to them. Chrome Mox, Imprint, Solitude, Cavern of Souls, naming Cleric, White Plume, Adventurer. Yikes, so they get the initiative and now I have to... I mean, I guess I can steal it from them, but then they can just steal it back. Portal to Phyrexia. All right, elk one of these foods, go to combat, attack with the food. All right, we trade, and then I can't do anything, so over to them. Level 2. So if I'd made a food the previous turn, I could have double fooded and then definitely taken the initiative, although I would have had to pay for Tabernacle. Seasoned Dungeoneer, which we cannot attack into, so I have to elk this first. So we're going to lose to the initiative because we can't steal it from them. Unless I can show and tell, unless I draw show and tell, but that's basically it. Mox Pearl. Well, that doesn't help. All right, elk your Dungeoneer, I guess. What's the swap ability on this? I can swap this for the food token. All right, so let's do that. So exchange control of this food and the Dungeoneer. So then they make a skeleton, but this can attack through the skeleton unhindered at least. Oh my god, come on. They just have 3 initiative creatures. Yeah, mode 3, we're just losing this game. Chancellor of the Annex, presumably. Yeah, all right, fantastic. Can't even target it because it gets hexproof for some reason. Show and Tell into Portal is the only possible out. All right, pay that. Oh, and they have Solitude, so I can't steal the initiative. All right, Force of Vigor, which we also can't play. Yeah, we're dead. Is all Vintage gameplay this bad? Yeah, it is. Welcome to the Vintage streams. All right, we're on the draw for round 2. What do we got? I have Show and Tell. I can't play it until turn 2, although I can Forbidden Orchard the recall, so this seems decent enough. Chancellor of the Annex. All right, it's another initiative deck. Chrome Mox, Imprinting Chancellor, Chrome Mox, Imprinting Seasoned Dungeoneer, Cavern of Souls into Archon. Oh my god. All right, Trop tapped, go. And remember that the Annex trigger is still floating around, so Anointed Peacekeeper. Yeah, so we're completely screwed. If I were them, I would name either Recall or Pearl. They chose Show and Tell. Alright, that's fine. Plays this tapped. Let me take 2 from the Archon. And then my turn has to literally be play a tap land, play Pearl, pay for it. Yeah. So play this, tapped, cast the Pearl, Annex trigger, pay for it. Back to them. All of our lands enter tapped, so the Archon is just taxing the hell out of us. And then I guess I can cast Ancestral Recall next turn, maybe. We're on a 5 damage clock here. Thalia. Well, So recall us, blue, and then we pay another 1 for that. So draw a bunch. We drew Tinker. That's something. All right, let's make sure we have blue mana in case they wasteland us. So back to them. I don't know what I can Tinker for, though. Discard one of these Orchards. Because the Citadel's in my hand. Even if I could Tinker for it, I'm taking so much damage that it doesn't matter. So the Show and Tell costs 6, so I can't play that. Oh, another Show and Tell. Really, really cool there. All right, I mean, I have to Tinker, and then I don't even know what I can Tinker for. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. Yeah, we're dead. Because we're taking lethal next turn. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to board the same way I did last round. So this in, this in, this in, these in, this in, this in. Is the Tabernacle even good? Like, they can just pay for their stuff, right? All right, so force out, this out, this out. The Atraxa's out, and then Show and Tell. Actually, if we're switching Atrax out, then Flash doesn't make sense anymore. Let's cut that. Oh, I should have also cut Mental Misstep. Whatever. I mean, this hand just doesn't do anything, right? So Molt. Oh, hey, look, another turn 1 Oko. I guess I'm put Portal back. I mean, I have to pop Lotus anyway. So blue, this, Oko, food, fizzle this, back to them. And we can force the will whatever their first play is. All right, they've conceded to that. Riveting gameplay. All right, let's get rid of Mental Misstep, and I guess I'll leave an Atraxa in. All right, what do we got? This hand's too slow. Insanely, it is actually too slow, I think. If they just play any, like, taxing effect, then we literally can't do anything. I mean, we've got turn 1 Vampiric Tutor, unless, and we also have Oath with the Forbidden Orchard, so maybe? I don't know. Like, am I supposed to dump this hand? I haven't played enough to know that. Like, if they just get the initiative going, it's so bad. If they just get Archon or something on turn 1, it's so bad. I'll keep it. Whatever. It's a learning experience. Grell Mox. Binning the Archon. Ancient Tomb. So whatever they have is either a second Archon or it's better. Yeah, okay, it's a second Archon. Oh boy, this hand's so bad now. All right. Lotus Petal. I guess I technically can cast Vamp Tutor. What would I Vamp Tutor for? It's got to be something that I can play for, like, no mana. So Lotus. I have a Show and Tell in my hand. All right, the Forbidden Orchard actually makes mana next turn, whereas Delta doesn't really. So back to them. White Plume, yeah. Initiative. Do you have much Vintage experience? Nope, this is literally the first time I'm ever playing it. Oh, Wasteland, cool. So we're just completely screwed. I mean, like, apparently you just can't keep a hand like this. Like, your hand actually has to be broken. You just can't keep this. So we're just gonna die in like 3 hits, right? What can I do? I can play a tap land, then I can Vamp for Lotus and then Show and Tell what into play? Nothing. I guess I can Vamp for Lotus and cast Oath of Druids. All right. I guess I should have done that last turn. Yep, that resolves. 5, 7. Actually, we straight up lose in 1 hit, right? Yeah, I had to go grab Oath last turn. Because now I'm just actually dead. Because it's going to be 7 that turn, and then it's going to be 12 the next turn, so we're dead. All right, we're on the play for round 3. So we've got Force, but we've got Force and turn 2 Oath. All right, so I'll keep this. So we'll play the island first, so we can't get wastelanded, and then we'll have Force backup, and then we'll go Orchard, Oath. All right, island, go. Opponent plays an island, plays Sapphire, plays Mana Vault. All right, Orchard, green, yield to this trigger, cast Oath of Druids. Opponent brainstorms in response, sure. Well, we have double Force backup, so I think we're in a pretty good position. Mana Vault trigger, Scalding Tarn, Opal, Time Vault. All right, so I can allow that to resolve, right? I just can't allow Manifold Key to resolve, so that's fine. Tinker, all right, we're countering that. All right, we win. So they're a Tinker deck, so Force Negation, Force of Vigor, Thoughtseize, Null Rod. Oko also seems good. What's bad? Like, everything seems fine to me, so I don't know what to cut. Oko's maybe too slow? I don't know. What if I just shave on this stuff? Like, we're a combo deck. I can't shave on too much, right? I'm shaving Oko even though I'm bringing in Force of Vigor. That seems wrong. All right, maybe Thoughtseize isn't good. I don't need it. And then I mean, Null Rod stops their Time Vault combo, and they're playing like Mono Vault. Like, this has to be a match where you bring Null Rod in, right? I'm just gonna cut all the Okos. I feel like this matchup is basically down to like turn 1 or 2, and that this is too slow to matter. Although I could be wrong. All right, we've got Lotus Oath, although we have no way of giving our opponent a creature. So this hand does nothing. Yeah, this hand doesn't do anything. All right, well, this hand also does nothing. We can play a Null Rod, and then we have nothing to do. So, I mean, that alone actually might be good enough, but then we're just stuck here doing nothing the whole game. So I'll mold to 5. All right, we've got more nothing, but I'm not going to go to 4. So let's put back Lotus Petal, and I mean, like, we just don't have anything to do. So Pearl can go back. It's like that or a land. All right, I'll put Pearl back. All right, we got Force of Negation. Misty Rainforest. Fetch. Gets a Tundra. Plays top. Yeah, that's fine. Lotus. That's fine. Spell Pierce. All right. Well, let's play an island and then just pass. Spins the top on upkeep. Yeah, that's fine. All right, they did nothing after that, so it's back to us. We drew Tinker, although we can't use it, so let's play Orchard and pass the turn. Opponent sacks the Lotus and plays Lavinia, which we can't actually respond to, so I guess I'm supposed to Brainstorm in response to this. So let's Brainstorm. Ancestral Recall in response. I'll Spell Pierce that. Spins the top. All right. Draws with the top, so they found something. Mental Misstep. All right, let's force that. What are they? Mental Misstepping the Spell Pierce. So let's force the Recall. Getting rid of Tinker. Force a Will, Paradoxical Outcome. All right. Well, we're losing this game now. My opponent is just playing aggravatingly slowly. Like, they're just pausing on every priority pass for no reason. So Recall, they draw a bunch. Brainstorm's on the stack. Brainstorm. All right. We're actually Brainstorm locked because these are the next 2 draws. We lose the game. All right, so Paradoxical Outcome deck. So I'm going to bring in Thoughtseize, Mindbreak Trap. I think that's it, right? What do we cut here? I guess Mindbreak Trap only works when they get into chains. So, all right, we're on the play. We've got turn 2 Oath with Force backup. So I'll keep this. We also have Vamp Tutor. I probably just want to... Man, we have both of our Atraxes, 2 of our Atraxes in our hand. All right. I probably want to Vamp Tutor for another Force just to make sure that this Oath resolves. So Delta, go. Island. Mox Pearl, Mox Ruby. All right. End step fetch, grabbing, trop. Oh, well, I misclicked that. Okay, we have double Oath. We can maybe force some stuff through. Obviously, I meant to grab Underground Sea. All right, play Oath. If they fight this, I'm just going to allow this one to die because then we have another one to follow it up. All right, they did not fight it. Tinker. All right, well, we have to fight that. So, Force, pitching Atraxa. Well, they have their own Force. All right, Tinker resolves. Gets Citadel. The thing about Citadel is you can still brick with it. Urza Saga. All right, they got nothing. Oath of Druids, target you. Slam Atraxa. What do we get? Force of Vigor is the instant. I don't want to take Atraxa because that means Oath's offline. So we grab Emerald's the only artifact. Misty is a land. And then I guess Show and Tell's a sorcery. And another Oath of Druids is an enchantment. All right, done. So we want to stop on opponent's upkeep. So Mox Emerald. I mean, I guess, like, if I force here, then I'm not doing anything on their turn anyway, so I may as well Show and Tell in this other Atraxa to get more stuff. So let's tap this, give them a Spirit token. They only have 1 card in their hand. Show and Tell. Force of Will off the top from the Citadel. All right, land, and then we'll pass, and then upkeep or force the Saga and the Citadel. All right, upkeep, force, kill Citadel, kill Saga, pitch Oath of Druids. Mystical Tutor in response. Oh my god. That was the last card in their hand? Are you freaking serious? Alright. Alright, Flusterstorm, which we can't pay for. Yeah, alright. So this stuff stays in play. Karn. Well, they're at 9. So, like, Manifold Key. Plays a land. Karn minus. Finds Soul Guide Lantern. That's fine. I guess they just want to redraw. Soul Guide. Hang on. Did I miss something? Why is like our entire deck milled over? Did they cast a Brain Freeze somewhere and they just like went so fast I didn't see it? Draws a card. Narset. Well, at least if they don't find anything, they're dead. Jet. Teferi. Alright. We've milled over our Atraxas, right? I guess I technically haven't. I've exiled one of them. Okay. Is Underground Sea gone or do I still have that? I guess I still have that. Lotus. Minus with Narset. Emerald. When did they Brain Freeze us? I didn't even see that happen. Alright, well, fetch with the Delta. What's left in our deck? So we still have an Atraxa. All right. Oh, no. The Oath of Druids puts the stuff in your graveyard? Oh, I didn't even realize that. Wow, really? So we went through like 40 cards before we found our first Atraxa. Jesus Christ. All right, so I've got two with the Oath on the stack, Vamp Tutors to make sure that, yeah. Oath on the stack, Vamp Tutor to make sure that we don't mill our whole deck over. So Vamp Tutor. Can I please resolve this? Can I please cast Vampiric Tutor? Why can I not cast Vampiric Tutor? All right, yeah, use the Oath's ability. We have 2 cards left in our deck. All right, I'm going to choose nothing. Well, back to them. We literally can't respond to anything, so, you know. I guess we just hope they don't have an answer to Atraxa. Finds Divining Top. Yeah. Solarian Academy. All right, so they have all the mana in the universe. Oh, they found Time Vault. All right, we're dead. If I weren't streaming this, I would just quit the entire Vintage Marathon. But I've made a commitment, and I'm going to stick to it. All right, we're on the play for round 4. This hand is a turn 1 Tinker, although it has no defense. So if the Tinker fails, the hand just completely dies. I'll keep it. All right, we're going to force check our opponent. All right, Sapphire, Mana Crypt. All right, Tinker the Mana Crypt away. Grab Citadel. Play Underground Sea. All right, we're bricked. So, actually, no, we're not bricked, right? I can Tutor Recall to the top of my deck. Mystical Tutor. Or Vamp Tutor. I guess I can play a turn 1 Atraxa if I do that. That seems pretty good, although that costs me 3, 17, 10 with Atraxa in play. That seems like the best shot, though, right? All right, let's get Vamp Tutor. Let's cast Vamp Tutor. Grab Atraxa. Cast Atraxa. Trigger Atraxa. All right, Time Walk. I can only grab one of these, so I guess Mox Jet, Force of Will, and Island. Done. Play the Jet. And I can't play anything else, so over to them. I don't know. Seems like a pretty good turn 1 to me. Yeah, opponent concedes. I believe they're on initiative, so something like that. All right, we have a turn 1 with Oath of Druids with Forbidden Orchard, so I'm keeping. Obviously, there's a million ways this hand goes wrong, but, you know. Chancellor of the Annex. All right, I can actually pay for that, so... How's Vintage been treating you? The format's terrible. Like, I don't know why anyone would play this. I wouldn't play it if I weren't streaming. All right, so they're going to name, I don't know, Oath, I guess. Yeah, just Oath, and then we're multiple turns behind on our plan. So what's my plan right now? Pay for one of these Moxes, play the Moxes, and then what? They just name Oath. Oath costs 4, although I get it next turn, right? Yeah, Oath of Druids. Top, you say. All right, so land, Emerald, Chancellor check, pay it. Then this resolves. Then we play Pearl, then top. Is there any reason to spin this now? What would I even cast if I... Like, it had to be something for free. So yeah, there's no reason to spin it now. So, over to them. All right, we take 3 from this Anointed Peacekeeper. Containment Priest. So, the Oath doesn't work anymore. Very cool. All right, spin the top. Sarah's Emissary, Oko, Ancestral Recall. All right. So I'm going to want to... I don't want to draw this, but Oko is very interesting. But I obviously want to get Recall as well. The thing is, if I Recall, then I have to draw this. I mean, that's not too bad. I can play Oko, and then I can tick it up and choose Containment Priest, and then get Oath next turn. All right, so let's just literally put this all back in the same order. I can also pop the top, I guess. Like, I can pop the top to draw Oko, then Misty to fizzle everything away, so that I don't draw the Emissary, which I definitely don't want to draw. That actually seems reasonable. All right, so let's draw. So then we can Misty, fetch, grab Underground Sea. Now I can Recall myself and not have to draw Emissary. 2 Show and Tells and a Lotus Petal. All right. So if I play Oko and I just turn this into an Elk or this into an Elk, then he dies. So the alternative is turning like Lotus Petal into an Elk and just blocking. Although if they just have removal for the Elk, then they just kill Oko and then I'm left with nothing. So the best move is probably just to turn Containment Priest into an Elk and then ship the turn. I guess I can also swap Lotus Petal for Anointed, although I don't know how much that really helps me. Play Oko. Oh wait, no, I can't swap yet. All right, so yeah, let's turn off Containment Priest. So Oko dies, but then at least Oath of Druids is online. White Plume Adventurer. All right, well, how much is that? That's 11 damage next turn? Jesus. I actually can't even take the initiative for 2 whole turns, which means that I'm just gonna die to trap before I ever get the Oath online. Insane. Yeah, we take 11 here, go to 5. We can't take the initiative back until 2 turns from now. Then they trap us and we're dead. I'll force this Boromir, why not? All right, Oath, target you. I don't think I can survive. I hit Emissary. All right, so I name creature. It doesn't matter. We're still dead. Mox Ruby. Yeah, we're dead. I have 0 ways of gaining life at instant speed, right? Nothing has haste. I don't have swords or anything in my deck. Yeah, all right. Oh, I needed to take Flash out. I guess no, Oko can make a food and gain life, right? So that is a way of not losing. to the trap. All right, what do we got? One land, not doing anything other than brainstorming. All right, we've got land and Lotus into what? Again, we just play a turn 1 Oko and then hope that we don't lose. Or we play... I guess technically I have Dismember as well in my hand. Or I could, what? Demonic Tutor for, like, just nothing. If I play Oko, I also don't have Force of Vigor up anymore. I mean, I'm already going to 5 if I mull this. Ugh. I guess I just hope Oko gets there. Keep, put back, Vamp Tutor. So, Trop, Lotus, cast Oko, make a food, Mox Sapphire, Mox Emerald, Monocrypt. Soul Ring, Cavern of Souls. Well, this is quite the start for our opponent. Anointed Peacekeeper, at least we can dismember that. Although if they name dismember, we can't. But I guess I can elk it and then kill it. I can also just swap the food for it. So, like, that's another thing I can do if they don't name Oko. They chose Dismember. Yeah, all right. So I guess I'm just swapping in that case. So yeah, exchange control of the food in this thing, and then we'll pass. All right, apparently that won the game somehow. All right, so we're playing against the Lurrus deck, and this hand is just god-awful. So in poker, this would be a full house, but here it's really bad, so let's mull. Okay, we've got Tinker, and I can play it on turn 2. I have Spell Pierce up. Flash is completely useless in this hand, but that's fine. So let's keep this and put Flash back. What's the most healthy format at the moment in your opinion? Booster draft that isn't Vintage Cube, but I know that's not what you mean. So in terms of like constructed formats that are competitive 1v1, so like not EDH, Pauper, Gix Probe, Pay 2 Life. What you got? A bunch of lands and Lavinia, but they have Wasteland and Strip Mine. Jesus Christ. Okay, they can't play Lavinia next turn. So like if I just play out my land and pass, then they're just gonna waste it. So if I have to do this in one turn before they get Lavinia down. So if I go Underground Sea, Petal, Crack, Demonic Tutor for Lotus, then I don't play the Lotus, and then they untap and probably Wasteland my land, and then I go untap, Forbidden Orchard, play top, Lotus, Tinker the top, get Citadel, or I can just play top right now, but then I'm short next turn. All right, let's just go with that plan. So Sea, Petal, Demonic Tutor, grabbing, where's Lotus? Black Lotus. I guess there's no reason not to play it now, right? Cast Lotus, and then we pass. So then Saga goes up. I would just assume, given this hand, that they're going to immediately Wasteland us. After playing extensively in so many formats, which one is your favorite, and which deck that you've played so far has been the most fun? I would say Pauper and Borosynthesizer. Yeah, there's the Wasteland. So they Wasteland us. All right. Delta, fetch, grab a Trop. I guess it doesn't matter. Play top. Blue, Tinker, eat the top. What do you mean you have Force of Will? What do you mean you have Force of Will? All right, I technically could win this game still if I found Oath of Druids. Oh wait, no I can't because they're going to strip mine me. Yeah, never mind. Let's just fuck this. All right, I don't know. Force of Vigor because they're a Saga deck. I'll go with this. I don't know. This is whatever. All right, we've got Recall with Force of Will backup, although it does suck that Citadel's in our hand, but whatever. All right, Sapphire. Recall ourselves. Island. All right, we drew Brainstorm. That's pretty good. So let's just Brainstorm right now and put Citadel back. I guess, like, what would I... So if I Brainstorm now, what would I even play if I found, like, free mana, right? If I found, like, Lotus Tinker, I would play that. All right, Brainstorm. 3 Forbidden Orchards. Well, all right, then. To the opponent. Tundra. Mox Pearl. Lavinia. Well, we have to counter that. So Force, Pitch, Force. I could Thoughtseize them, or I could just play Oko. If I don't Demonic Tutor, though, then I'm drawing the Citadel, which I don't want to do. What would I Demonic Tutor for here? If I Demonic Tutor, I only have 1 mana left, right? So I could Demonic Tutor for Tinker and wait, but that just seems bad. I feel like I have to interact with them. I could Elk their Pearl if Oko resolves, or I could just Thoughtseize them and try to take what's in their hand. That seems like the best bet. All right, although I am going to draw the Citadel, which is unfortunate, but I feel like I have to do this. All right, what's in their hand? Time Walk, Containment Priest. I probably have to take Time Walk, because if I don't, they're just going to go Saga, Time Walk, Saga ticks up. God, their hand's 2 goddamn Sagas. All right, so take Time Walk, and then we can't do anything else, so over to them. So then the best thing they can do is play Saga, and then either play Containment Priest or put Lurrus in their hand. So Saga. So the Containment Priest means I can never Oath anymore. All right, what can I grab? I have 2 mana left over after I cast Demonic Tutor, which is enough for Oath, but then that doesn't matter, because then they just flash in Containment Priest. So I have to play Oko first, and then make a food or something. What in the world can I even get? I could get Force of Vigor. I boarded that in, right? Yeah. So I could get Force of Vigor and force the Pearl and the Saga. Then they play another Saga. I lose Oko, and then my hand just has nothing in it, right? So they have, if I do that, they have 2 Spirit Tokens and Containment Priest. They play another Saga, and then I'm left with nothing, and I'm taking too much damage for the Citadel to ever matter. So then I'm just at the mercy of whatever it is that we're drawing. So if I don't do that, I could tutor for Time Walk, take another turn. They get 2 spirits, and I get the 3rd land into play, and I'm 1 off of Citadel, and then we take 6 damage next turn, and we still have to draw a land. Alternatively, what else can I grab? Tinker Plan's off the table because Citadel's in our hand, so that doesn't work. I didn't board in Portal, so that's not going to work either. So I think we're kind of just screwed. I can't think of any way to get out of this. I can play Oko, and then, like, what does that matter? I'm not elking anything, so I'm just making a food token, and then, or I'm turning Sapphire into an elk and giving them a bunch of creatures, and then we're just losing to Saga. Oh, man. All right, black. They make a spirit. Demonic Tutor. Playing Oko is not the play, so Tutor's the play. Flash and Containment Priest, sure. It is just Force of Vigor, right? Like, I don't have anything else I can really get that matters here. I guess I can grab Show and Tell in the Citadel next turn, right? Then what does that do? We're taking 4 going to 12, and then I Show and Tell in Citadel, and I have 12 life to work with, and we have to be able to beat this. See, if I grab Force of Vigor here, though, we're just so incredibly screwed. We're on a 4-turn clock. No, we're on a 3-turn clock. If I just grab Force of Vigor, all right, I'm going to grab Show and Tell then. Pass the turn. Vintage Cube Marathon next, where you just try drafting every deck archetype on Cube. Well, I played a bunch of Cube already, so I think we're good there. It's unbelievable that Saga wins by itself even in Vintage. Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't get pissed off at like Time Walk, Lotus, like all that stuff. The things that actually have pissed me off the most so far are Saga and Initiative. So we take 4. All right. Show and Tell. Put Citadel into play. What are they going to put into play? They just put their Saga into play. Atraxa's on the top, baby. All right. Cast Atraxa. Mental Misstep is on the top, although we're going to change this. So trigger. Okay. What do we got? The only land we can take is Trop, so we're taking that. The only enchantment we can take is Oath. I probably want access to the most mana possible, so let's take Lotus. And then we've got Force of Vigor that I can use to blow up this bullshit on their side of the board, so that seems good. And then Show and Tell is the only sorcery. All right, done. Gix Probe on top, but it costs me 1 life to cast it. All right, let's cast Lotus. Is it worth it to do that? I mean, if they deal with Atraxa, then we're just dead anyway, so I guess so. So they make a Construct, and then I block that and gain 7, take 5. All right. What is in your hand, sir? Oko's on top. Mental Misstep was in their hand. Okay. So if I play this Oko, I can make a food and eat it. So it's kind of breaking even, although to do that, I have to pop this Lotus. All right. I don't really want Oko on the top, so let's just fetch to 3. I need to stop on my opponent's upkeep as well. Actually, if I don't stop them now, they're going to get to make another Construct, so it's probably better to pop the Lotus and just blow both of these up on my own turn. I guess I want to deny them another thing off of the Orchard, so let's just... What am I even playing off the top? I guess something that's free, right? Fetch, grab Underground Sea, also Beseiju. So let's just go to the end step, and then we'll force both of these when they go to activate their thing. All right, well, if they're not going to activate it, I do need to make sure that I stop in their upkeep. All right, so green... This one, force the Sagas. All right, they have a draw to answer Atraxa. Brainstorm. All right, what vintage decks have I played? So far, we've played Mono White Initiative, Paradoxical Outcome, and Blue White Tinker. Seal of Cleansing. Jeez. They are just drawing like a god, eh? At least we still have Atraxa on the board. All right, what am I doing here? I guess I'm probably just playing Oath and Oko. Actually, I can't play both without activating Forbidden Orchard. That's fine. If I play Oko, he actually dies to the board if they attack in with everything. No, he doesn't. If I make... So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to activate 1 Forbidden Orchard, and then I block here. Then this is 6. So actually, he does die if they just swing everything at him. All right, so let's just play Oath of Druids, and then go to combat and attack with Atraxa. All right, 2-turn clock with Atraxa. Luris into hand. Bauble. All right, Oath of Druids. They draw with Bauble. Then Oath of Druids resolve. We milled 3 cards. All right. Containment Priest. What do we exile? Force Atraxa. All right. Let's play this top and spin it and see if there's anything I want to hit. Not really. I guess I want to put a Force of Will on top so I can draw that at instant speed if I have to. So this. Then we can play land, play Oko, make a food. All right, we win. Next game. I mean, that felt correct. I guess they have Containment Priest, so I need Dismember. Oko feels very not good against Saga decks. There's also like Portal to Phyrexia as a Tinker target in case the Citadel isn't good enough. Like you're on the back foot and you're taking too much damage, so the Citadel might not get there. I don't know what to cut for that though. I really don't like a Lotus Petal against a Force of Will deck. You're going all in on stuff. And then what's the last card to cut? Mental Misstep has to be good, right? Like they have Recall in their deck. The problem is again, I just like hate this kind of stuff against Saga decks because they don't have to play anything. Yeah, I'll cut it. All right, we have a lot of mana, and we have Oath of Druids on turn 1, and we also can Demonic Tutor, so this seems very keepable. Although we have no way of forcing our opponent to have a land, or to have a creature. Okay, what am I doing? I can Demonic Tutor for Forbidden Orchard, and then slam Oath of Druids. Or I can just Demonic Tutor for Show and Tell. Let's cast Pearl, cast Jet, cast Lotus. I can actually almost hard cast Atraxa. So I'm definitely casting Demonic Tutor here, so let's just do that first. All right, what am I getting here? I could grab Tinker and try to Tinker immediately, or I could just, like, problem is if we just like blow our load here and then they have Force of Will, then we're just dead. So I could grab Recall and try to draw cards. I could grab Flash, and then we could just Flash Atraxa in and draw a bunch. I could grab Force of Will. That doesn't seem great. We can almost just straight up play Citadel. I can also grab Tinker. I think the best bet is waiting, actually. I think I'm just going to get Citadel and then just wait to hard cast it next turn. Although that takes me off Atraxa too. The alternative is just grab Recall and try to cast it right now, and if they counter it, so be it. I feel like the best bet is just to try to set up a combo turn next turn. So just grab Show and Tell. And then rather than cast it right now and blow this Lotus, let's just wait. This obviously gives them a turn to find Containment Priest, but like, what are you going to do? If I just pop Lotus there, then I don't have a Lotus anymore. Like, if they have Force, they have Force, right? What are we going to do about that? So, if we play Show and Tell and they flash in Containment Priest, then we have to put Oath of Druids into play instead, which also doesn't do anything. I say we just hard cast Atraxa. They have to specifically have Force of Will to stop it. It's 4/7, yeah. All right, so fetch. Whereas, like, Containment Priest stops these two. All right, green, black, white, blue, this one. Cast Atraxa. Yeah, they have Force of Will. Oh, well. And there's the Containment Priest, so both of these are off. So now my only out is topping into something. So I guess I was supposed to what? Demonic Tutor for Recall or something instead of Show and Tell. Soul Ring, Pithing Needle, Oko, another Containment Priest. All right, well, they're out of cards, so we're on a clock, but other than that, drop. All right, top. So let's spin the top. Wow, that's atrocious. And I don't have a way of changing the order. I guess technically Oath of Druids changes the order, even though I wind up exiling the cards. Jesus. All right, let's put them all back and Besage you on top. So this, then we'll play Oath. And if they find Saga on their turn, I can draw into the Besage you. Puts Lurrus in their hand. Plays Brainstorm. Why not Brainstorm first and then see if you still want to put Lurrus in? All right, 4 from the Priest. So trigger this, target them, resolve this. We definitely want to use it. We milled a whole bunch of stuff. We drew another Oath of Druids. Oh, should have stopped on my upkeep. I guess it doesn't technically matter that I can draw it right now. Oh man. Okay, so we milled over this. Literally all cards I don't care about. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So activate the top. What's on top of our deck? Citadel, another Atraxa, which I'm short of playing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also short of playing Citadel. I actually can't play anything. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. All right, I guess I'm putting Dismember on top. So wait, Atraxa is on top. So therefore, if I Oath, the Atraxa doesn't. No, I can put Citadel in my hand and then Show and Tell the Citadel into play, right? Okay, yeah. So and then cast Atraxa off the Citadel. Okay, so I need to Dismember, Atraxa, Citadel. Then we draw a card, then Show and Tell. So their hand's Lurrus and one other card I don't know about. So, like, unless that card's something they can put in, they actually can't put anything in here. What? Didn't they put Lurrus in their hand? How do they have Snapcaster Force of Will? Oh, they brainstormed. They brainstormed into a blue card and Force of Will? Are you fucking kidding me? All right, so Oath gets rid of top and Atraxa, and then we draw Dismember. And then I Dismember the Lurrus, and then I have one turn to somehow not lose. So yeah, mill top over, exile Atraxa, draw Dismember. Let's just kill this now. Black, black. All right, we have one draw step to somehow not lose the game. Strip mine, yeah. So I can't even play Citadel even if I draw a mana for it. Don't use this. We drew an island. All right, we're dead. And we're officially done here. We are so done here. Oh my god. All right. So this could be my inexperience talking, but I feel like these decks are misbuilt. So if I go through all the trouble of setting up an Oath of Druids or a Tinker or a Show and Tell, I kind of just want to win the game immediately. I don't want to put Citadel in off a Tinker and then just hope that I hit the right cards, and then sometimes like counter spells are on the top of my deck and I can't even cast them. I don't want to Oath and do an Atraxa, and then if my opponent has removal, they can just kill it and keep hitting us. I kind of just want to win the game on the spot. And that is what you see in Legacy. Like if you look at Legacy Show and Tell and those kinds of decks, which is basically the equivalent of this deck, you are putting in like Omniscience, Gristlebrand. You're typically, you know, you don't always win immediately, but they have like Sneak Attack and Emrakul. Like they have ways of kind of just winning the game on the spot. And this feels like there's lots of ways where you don't just win the game on the spot. In fact, it feels like you often don't win the game on the spot when you do one of your cheaty cards. Beyond that, obviously I made a bunch of mistakes. I don't know how to sideboard with the deck. Sphinx of the Steel Wind just seems awful. Like, what decks does this go up against where it doesn't die to removal? Specifically red-green mid-range decks, and then everything else has an answer to it. Thoughtseize just feels terrible in a format where everyone's playing Recall and like a million incredibly broken cards that they can just rip off the top of their deck at any moment. Is Dismember really the best removal spell we can play as well? It feels like most of the things we want to kill, we could kill with Fatal Push or just some other spell. Yeah, the stuff Atraxa grabs doesn't seem to do much. Exactly, like the problem is you've got these like combo payoffs like Atraxa and Bolas' Citadel, but then really just nothing much to actually use them on. Like the deck's game plan to win the game is get an Atraxa into play and then just hope that they don't have removal for it and you can attack them for multiple turns. That seems to be the deck's game plan. That seems like a really bad game plan. Well, that's the Oath of Druids deck.